Hey everybody, welcome back to Dark Souls 2 and the Betus beat. You guys are witnessing history today, let me tell you. This is the first Betus beat that has been done off the air. This footage was all not streamed because it is things that I have already attempted to do but embarrassingly failed at. So, to minimize the fucking up risk that is inherent in playing Dark Souls and doing repeat content, I thought I would just do this myself to prove that I'm more than capable, that I'm a good person, and that I can do these things. And I thought it just might be too boring to actually watch. So as you can see here, Vendrick has a little bit of a higher defense than he had before. He's taken about, 300 a pop with that halberd, whereas the glitched version of Vendrick was taking more in the 400, 500 range. So, and that's due to only having 4 out of the 5 giant souls. I think if your purpose is to defeat Vendrick, I think it is easier to take him on with 4 out of the 5 giant souls instead of doing what you have to do to get the to get the 5th of those giant souls. Getting the 5th giant soul is even harder than beating Vendrick with only 4 out of the 5 giant souls. What's up with that? I ask you. But no, I think it's just easier to do it this way. To get the 5th giant soul, this has probably been mentioned. I'm not very good at keeping up with the Betus beat canon of what's been discussed and what hasn't so far. But, yeah, you gotta beat off the Ancient Dragon to get that 5th giant soul. Ancient Dragon, ultimate boss of the game, kind of a toughie, so, you know, screw it, forget about it. Don't need to bother with that. I'm still reeling from having gotten glitched Vendrick down to but a sliver of his health, and then just getting greedy at exactly the wrong time. I think it happens to the best of us, though. The best of us Dark Souls 2 players. I do like what they did with Vendrick, though. Hey, you know, the whole setup of go see the king and ooh, quick little upskirt shot for the ladies. How it's all, you know, go see the king, and then you go to see him, and he's just this hollow, literally hollow shell of his former self. I don't know. It's cool. I'm down with it. I don't know why he came in here and took off all of his clothes, though, which are what's in the corner where you get the king's ring. Maybe that was some senile shit happening to him first. Anyway, Dark Lurker. I had a valiant effort against the Dark Lurker my first time, and don't try to deny it. But I heard, thanks to the Wandering Newbie for this tip, that the Dark Lurker is actually weak against fire. So I wanted to show you kind of a demonstration. What happens when you get too greedy? One, they say the halberd, you spin to win. And I had that mindset 100% right here. I saw my chance, I saw my opening. Spin to win. You gotta spin to be patient before you spin to win. Okay? Had it right there. But let's get real now. Let's show the fight proper. And again, I didn't want to stream this particular fight again because, again, a high chance of fucking up. And again, weak to fire, so charcoal, pine, resin, my halberd. And it does, I'm not sure if that's a weak to fire level of damage, but it seems respectable. Right? Maybe? Perhaps. But he's so weak I have to pine resin the halberd twice. I meant to drink. But Dark Lurker is not an easy boss, and if you do screw it up, then you have to, you know, retreading your steps takes a long time and is extremely tedious. I think this video is, what, about 7.5 minutes long, so the actual recording of this was more along the lines of 30 to 45 minutes. And that was, Vendrick was not a problem. I got that on my first shot, because I was patient that time, but Dark Lurker took me a good while. It helps if you get a little bit lucky with the placement of the Dark Lurkers. Like I was saying in the stream of this, you can hit either of them, but if they bunch themselves together, like they are right now, and you get a good swing, you get potentially double damage. That's what you want, like right there. Now the dickest thing about that fight, and is ridiculous, is that the second Dark Lurker has just a little bit of extra time to do a little something to you after you extinguish the first one. So if you just hang around and do a little victory pose because you're so excited for having finished something that was incredibly tedious and took a disproportionate amount of effort on your part, and then Dark Lurker number 2 throws a dark ball, a fireball, swings at you when you're not paying attention, you can die, and then you'll be a very upset and sad person. Some Dark Lurker lore there. An Abyss reference. Dark Souls 2, chock full of references to the original. I don't know if I could recommend that you play Dark Souls 2 before playing Dark Souls 1. I know the story is already very vague and under the surface, but it's even more so if you don't know what the references are that Dark Souls 2 is referring to in the first place. But if you don't care about story and lore, and you're just all about gameplay, then you could play Dark Souls 2. Anyway, sorry, dialogue.
The dark that we must all face. We need the abyss more now than ever.
And speaking of references, here's another one. A reference to Demon Souls, which then Dark Souls later referenced, and now Dark Souls 2 takes along with it.
I bequeath these.
So for those of you who don't know, Demon Souls, there's this boss where it would warp in a phantom, and it looked kind of like that thing. I bequeath these dragon chime to you. Thank you. Crazy kook.
Absorb your sorrows forever.
Yeah.
May the dark.
Yeah, I mean, that's still... I know you're trying to push that catchphrase, man, but it just doesn't make sense. May the dark shine your way, everyone. Thanks for watching. Longer video next time.